Hi, friend. I hope you're well. I'm okay, exhausted. Like I promised, because today is World Borderline Awareness Day, I'd just like to share my story, my bipolar story. I was diagnosed with bipolar type 2 in 2011. It was after I had a manic episode, and what that basically means is that it was more hypomanic in the beginning, where my mood was extremely elevated. I was very impulsive, my thoughts were racing, I was very talkative, I was just saying irrational and illogical things like India Ari is coming to my room in Cape Town, so I need to build a shrine for her. Yeah, I did that. I was really convinced that India Ari was coming. Not that I had spoken to her at all. I don't think she knows me, but you know, she did retweet me once though, so she knows that she has a super fan in South Africa. And yeah, so that was in 2011 when I had the manic episode. I was then admitted again to a Kiso and was put in their high care unit, and there I was put on medication to stabilize me. The first time I went to Akiso, though, was 2010. And this was after a really bad depressive episode that led to a suicide attempt. I was at Akiso for 3 weeks, and it was during graduation. So I even had to, for my graduation, I had to ask for a day out. It was very, very difficult. And while I was at Akiso, the nurses noticed that my moods are a bit unstable. So they told my psychiatrist, who then told me. And I remember being so offended because I thought to myself, these people don't know me, they don't know my story. Like, how can they just say such? This is who I am. But the doctor changed my meds, and I noticed a difference in my moods right after I was put on Epilim, which is a mood stabilizer. So after Kiso in 2010, I got discharged in 2011, and then in 2011 I still wasn't okay, but I didn't know what was going on because then I had little knowledge about mental illness. But I just knew that I am not okay. There are things that happened in 2011 that triggered me, I suppose, and I found myself having this manic episode and having to call the psychiatrist. It was like 5 a.m. I wasn't sleeping. My brain wouldn't shut down. I couldn't sleep for about 4 days or a week, or I can't remember how long it was, but it was very, very long. And even after even when I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't tired, and that was a problem. And so I went to Kiso, I was put on the meds, and then I got discharged. Having bipolar is very difficult. I have bipolar type 2, which means I have more depressive episodes than I do manic episodes, but they happen. What distinguishes the type of bipolar that I have from bipolar 1 is the fact that my manic episodes, I'm not psychotic, I don't see things, I don't hear things, so that's why it's bipolar type 2, and there's more depressive episodes, which are very difficult to get out of, and they come immediate. A depressive episode comes immediately after a manic episode. That's just the way that it works, and it's painful. It's painful. Sometimes I would experience a mixed mood state where I'm both depressed and manic. It's a weird thing, but I think this week I'll just keep doing small videos to educate you about bipolar type 2. And I think it's a great way for me to reacquaint myself with what the illness actually is, so that I can take it more seriously and stop drinking because I'm on my pills. And if I drink, I risk a manic episode and I risk a depressive episode. Last year, actually, I had a manic episode on the 5th of March. It was right here in this lounge, and my 3 friends were here. And it was a very difficult experience for them. I had to be sedated, and then I was taken to hospital just to be stabilized, I guess. So that's my bipolar story. And the interesting thing is, when I was first admitted to a Kiso in 2010, and I remember telling a friend of mine that this is where I'm at, and she said, I'm not surprised, because she was saying that at varsity I was super hyper, and it was just concerning. At the time, I didn't think anything of it because I'm an extrovert. So I'm an extrovert, but I'm also very energetic in nature. So, but now I realize that actually I struggle with bipolar. I mean, there were nights in varsity where I would, like, I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and do my laundry and put it in the dryer and fold it, and then I'd clean my room, and I'd have all these grand plans of doing this, that, and the other. I started this organization called Benevolence, and my ambitions for it were too high because I just wasn't thinking logically. Okay, this may seem like it's a bit incoherent, but please bear with me. I'm very emotional. This is a very difficult topic to talk about because, whew, yeah, I mean, even now I've been doing better because of my meds, but I still have moments where I question the happiness. You know, I'm always just thinking, is this a hypomanic episode or am I genuinely happy? But I have things that I do to help me. So I ask myself, are my thoughts racing? Am I sleeping? And when I don't sleep, do I get tired? So there are things that I consider that enable me to kind of determine whether or not it's a hypomanic episode. And yeah, so the meds that I'm on Epilim, a mood stabilizer, and Seroquel. It's like a tranquilizer, anti-anxiety pill that also has antidepressant effects. So that really, really helps me. My moods are more stable now, and I'm functioning. I can wake up, I can shower, and do the things that I need to do throughout the day. If you have any questions about bipolar, please do comment. I will be talking a bit more about it during the course of this coming week, just to create awareness and to educate. And it's always good when you have bipolar. It's always good to have people in your life who know that you have it and who know the condition, because when you are manic, when I'm manic, I don't know. Like, I didn't know that I was hypomanic until I had the big manic episode. But what helps is when a friend of mine can say, Lebs, are you okay? Your mood seems a bit elevated. Sometimes it annoys me because I'm like, why are you trying to, bring me down? But it's because they're trying to help. So yeah, that's my bipolar story. I don't know if there's anything else I can mention except for the fact that my pills work and I'm healing, I'm in recovery, and I'm trying my best to take care of myself. I get it wrong so many times, but I'm more intentional now about taking my medication. I'm trying to eat healthier and go to the gym. And drinking is something that has been difficult for me to stop, but I know I have to, or some pills won't work, or I'll just have another manic episode. But that I will talk about in a separate video on another day. I'm just, yeah. If you've watched this whole video, thank you. Please do share these videos. And like I said, if you have any questions because you're struggling, or you've recently been diagnosed, or you have a loved one who struggles, I'm more than happy to share. Thank you. Bye.